Hello everyone, Daniella Squicquero, Engel & Volkers, Bluffton and Hilton Head, South Carolina. Welcome back and Happy New Year. Let's dive right into what I want to talk about today, which is something that we talk a lot about in the beginning of the year, and that is prepping your home for sale in the spring. So if you are planning to sell in the spring in the next 2, 3, 4 months, let's say, right now is about the time that you should be preparing. And there are a couple of things that you need to do to make sure that your property is ready to go when it hits the market. Number one, my utmost recommendation is to get a pre-listing inspection. It's pretty much exactly the same inspection that your buyer will get when they go under contract on that property. But what you are doing is getting out in front of any potential issues that your buyer is going to potentially find. So my recommendation to you is to find an inspector that is known to be extremely thorough. They will not miss anything, and that gives you the opportunity to fix anything that needs to be done before the house goes on the market. In fact, having a pre-listing inspection is a selling point in a lot of cases, and you can say, hey, look, we looked at all of these things, we looked at all of these systems. Of course, your buyer is still going to get their own inspection 9 times out of 10, and they should, but the fact of the matter is a lot of things were taken care of before the house even went on the market. What that does is it cuts closing time, and it makes everybody feel a little bit better about the process. So that is number one. Number two, we're going to move into aesthetics now, and that is clean, 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 clean. It does not matter if the home is 3 years old, 30 years old. The house must be spotless. That is extremely important. And one of the reasons for this, other than the obvious, is because a lot of buyers will wonder how well the house has been maintained as far as systems and those deeper things that you can't see, if it's not actually been dusted and all of the obvious things. So make sure those spots get off of the mirrors, make sure you're polishing all of those handles and doorknobs and fixtures. Light fixtures need to be clean, bug-free, dust-free, check in all of the corners, check on the windowsills, scrub your baseboards, do whatever you have to do to make that home feel spotless and feel wonderful and as new as possible. Number 3, landscaping. Curb appeal. Curb appeal is so important. Curb appeal has always been important, but it's even more important now because that first impression takes even less time than it used to. That is especially true with the advent of all of these digital platforms that many, many buyers are using now. In fact, the majority of people right now start their property search online. So you need to make sure that your property looks as good as it possibly can for that first millisecond when someone lands on your property page and decides if they're going to keep swiping to see the rest of the photos of your property or if they're going to get rid of it altogether and look at the neighbors down the street. So it is so important that you have your home prepared, and it can be simple. Simple is okay. It does not have to be fancy. You don't have to have the Gardens of Babylon in your front yard, but it needs to look nice. We're talking about edging, no patches in the grass, whatever ground cover you like to use, make sure that it's nice and clean, and you want it to complement the house and not be distracting. So the whole point of all of this is that you are selling a house. You are selling a product. You want everything to point to, focus in on, and enhance the product, which is the house, and maybe the grounds if you have beautiful grounds around your property. However, nothing distracting. That brings me to the next point. Declutter, depersonalize. You are selling someone their house, not your house. This is a great time to pack up the family photos and any of the, what we may gently call dust collectors that you may have amassed over the years. And you don't want to distract from what the actual product is, which is the house itself. Unless it's coming furnished, you essentially want the furniture to be a stand-in to give them an idea of potentials. This brings me to my next point, which is the importance of staging. Staging can be anything from the smallest tweaks of your own furniture all the way up to a complete warehouse alteration of the furniture and other things that are in the house. So it doesn't matter what direction you go, it has to work and it has to look neutral, not sterile. So clean, stage, organize, depersonalize, curb appeal, including digital curb appeal, and your realtor will help you with that by taking excellent photos, hopefully. So I hope that these tips have been useful. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to put them below. I will see you next time.